The 4th of July is coming, and if you're watching this, there's a good chance you already know exactly what's about to happen. The sun goes down, the first boom rattles the windows, and your dog, your normally happy, goofy, food-motivated best friend, turns into a completely different animal. Ears pinned back, tail tucked so tight it disappears, panting like they just ran a marathon, trying to squeeze their whole body behind the toilet or under the bed. You know that look. It's not just a little nervous, it's real fear, and watching it happen to an animal you love is genuinely awful. Here's the good news. This is fixable, or at least massively improvable, and most of the fix has nothing to do with luck. It comes down to timing, biology, and a few very specific things you do in the hour before the noise starts. I'm Dr. Ethan Lee, and today I want to walk you through the complete picture. Why fireworks terrify dogs in the first place, the well-meaning mistakes almost every owner makes, and a step-by-step plan you can start using today, all the way through the exact hour before the fireworks go off. Stick around because the last section is the one that makes the biggest difference. Let's get into it. Noise phobia is exactly what it sounds like. An intense, involuntary fear response to loud or sudden sounds. It's not bad behavior, it's a genuine physiological panic response. It's tempting to think dogs are just scared because fireworks are loud. But for a dog, a fireworks show is an assault on every sense they have, all at once. Then there's the physical side. Dogs feel sound. Their paws are packed with sensitive nerve endings, and every explosion sends a shockwave through the ground that travels straight up into their legs and spine. It's not just heard, it's felt, almost like a small earthquake going off under their feet. And then there's smell, which we tend to forget about entirely. Put all three together, deafening noise, ground tremors, and the smell of something burning, and a dog's brain reaches one conclusion fast. This is an attack, and I might not survive it. The amygdala, the brain's alarm center, floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline. This is a real panic attack, not misbehavior. Once a dog is in that state, they are not capable of learning, listening, or being reasoned with. Training and commands go out the window. The only thing that works is helping their body come back down, which is exactly what the rest of this plan is built to do. When your dog starts shaking, the instinct is to scoop them up and say, in a high, worried voice, "Oh, baby, it's okay, I've got you." Your dog has no idea what those words mean. What they pick up on is tone. A tense, high-pitched voice doesn't read as comfort, it reads as confirmation that something is genuinely wrong. Some owners think exposure builds tolerance, bringing the dog closer to the noise so they get used to it. This is called flooding, and it usually deepens the fear instead. And never let your dog off-leash outside during the holiday, even in a fenced yard. A dog in a full flight response can clear a fence, dig under a gate, or slip a collar. Fixing noise phobia isn't just about the night of. Let's start 3 to 5 days out. Play a recording of fireworks or thunder at a volume so low it's barely audible, practically a whisper. While it plays, do things your dog loves, tug, easy obedience, high-value treats like plain cooked chicken. Each day, if your dog stayed relaxed, nudge the volume up slightly while continuing the reward. The morning of the fireworks, your single biggest goal is physical and mental exhaustion, done early before it gets hot. 15 minutes of unstructured sniffing can tire out a dog's brain roughly as much as an hour of straight running. This is the part that moves the needle the most. 4 steps in the 60 minutes before the fireworks start. Give any calming supplement or vet-prescribed medication 1 to 2 hours before the fireworks begin while your dog is still relaxed, not after they're already shaking. By then it's too late to work. Step 2, gentle pressure, firm, even pressure around a dog's torso activates the calming half of the nervous system and can trigger the release of oxytocin, similar to how swaddling settles a crying infant. Step 3, build a safe den. Close the blinds an hour before. Flashes of light can trigger just as much of a startle response as the sound itself. Set up their bed in the most interior, windowless room in the house. Use a steady, deep sound like brown noise instead of the TV. Unpredictable dialogue can heighten anxiety rather than mask it. A soft cotton ball placed loosely at the opening of the ear canal, never pushed in deep, never a Q-tip, can take the edge off sharp cracking sounds. 45 minutes before showtime, give them a frozen lick mat or stuffed toy with plain Greek yogurt, mashed banana, and unsalted peanut butter, prepared and frozen the day before. Always check labels for xylitol, sometimes listed as birch sugar. It's highly toxic to dogs, even in tiny amounts. Once the noise begins, your job as the owner is mostly to just be calm and boring. Sit nearby, don't hover anxiously. If your dog comes to you, use slow, long, firm strokes down their back, no high-pitched baby talk. Gentle, slow circular pressure with your thumb on the point right between and slightly above a dog's eyes can have a noticeably settling effect. There's also a point at the base of the spine where the lower back meets the hips. And a small trick. If your dog is watching you nervously, make eye contact. Let out a big, exaggerated yawn and stretch slowly. Here's the part most guides skip. What happens after the fireworks stop? A lot of dogs don't snap back to normal right away. Adrenaline and cortisol take time to clear. Treat the day after like a recovery day. Skip the dog park. Skip loud errands. Keep things low key. It's also worth doing a quick body check the next morning. Run your hands over their legs, paws, and back. If this year hit harder than usual, write down what worked while it's fresh and loop in your vet about a longer-term plan for next year. Here's a new tilde 1,000-word section, script only, ready to drop in right before the wrap-up. Let's talk about something most videos on this topic never cover: how to actually build long-term resilience, so next year's 4th of July is easier than this one, and the year after that, easier still. Everything I've walked you through so far is what I'd call damage control. It's a same-day and same-week protocol designed to get your dog through one specific night with as little trauma as possible, and that matters. But if your dog struggles badly every single year, damage control alone isn't going to fix the underlying problem. What actually fixes it is a slow, deliberate desensitization process that starts months, not days, before the holiday. Here's why this matters so much. Fear responses in dogs work a lot like muscle memory. Every time your dog goes through a full-blown panic episode, that neural pathway gets a little stronger, a little faster to fire, a little more automatic. Left unaddressed, noise phobia tends to get worse with age, not better. Dogs who are mildly anxious about fireworks at 2 years old are often profoundly phobic by 6 or 7, simply because the pattern kept repeating and kept reinforcing itself. The flip side is just as true. If you interrupt that pattern early and consistently, you can genuinely rewire the response over time. So if this year was rough, I want you to think about starting a real desensitization program in the fall, once the loud holidays have passed and you have months of calm runway ahead of you. This isn't the 3 to 5 day version I described earlier. This is a structured, gradual process, and the golden rule is patience. You are always working at a volume and a pace where your dog stays relaxed. If you push too fast, you don't just fail to help, you can actually make the phobia worse. Start with very short sessions, just 5 to 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week. Use a real recording of fireworks or thunder, not a generic loud noise, because dogs are surprisingly specific about what they're afraid of. Play it at a volume so low that if you weren't paying attention, you might not even notice it's there. While it plays, do calm, pleasant things together. This isn't the time for excited play. Think gentle brushing, a slow, easy training session with treats, or just sitting together while your dog chews on something they love. The goal in these early sessions isn't excitement, it's simply teaching your dog's nervous system that this sound is present and nothing bad is happening. Only increase the volume when your dog has had several consecutive sessions with zero signs of stress. No pacing, no lip licking, no yawning, no turning away from the sound, no refusing treats. If you see any of those signals, that's valuable information, not a setback. It means you found the edge of your dog's comfort zone, and you simply back off to the last volume where they were relaxed and stay there longer before trying again. This process can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months depending on how severe the phobia is, and that's completely normal. Dogs with a longer history of fear, or dogs who had one especially traumatic exposure, often need more time. There's no prize for rushing it. The dogs who make the most durable progress are almost always the ones whose owners went slower than they felt like they needed to. While you're doing this sound work, it helps to pair it with what's called counter-conditioning in other parts of daily life too. Every time you hear a distant, unexpected loud noise, a car backfiring, a door slamming, even ordinary thunder, treat it as a training opportunity instead of an accident to just get through. The moment your dog hears it, immediately follow with something wonderful. A high-value treat, a favorite toy appearing out of nowhere, an enthusiastic invitation to play. Over time, the brain starts to build a new automatic association. Unexpected loud sound predicts something good, rather than unexpected loud sound predicts danger. I also want to mention breed and individual temperament here because it matters more than people realize. Herding breeds and working breeds, dogs bred for high environmental awareness and sensitivity to sound and movement tend to be more prone to noise phobia as a group. So do dogs who came from shelter or rescue backgrounds with an unknown history, especially if there's any chance they experience trauma involving loud sounds, gunfire, or abuse. If that's your dog, be extra patient with yourself and with them. This isn't a training failure on your part. Some dogs are simply wired to need more time and more support. If you've done a genuine patient desensitization program for a full season and you're still seeing severe panic, that's the point where I'd really encourage a conversation with your veterinarian about a comprehensive management plan That might include a longer-acting daily anti-anxiety medication rather than just situational support the night of, especially for dogs who show generalized anxiety beyond just fireworks. It might also mean working with a certified veterinary behaviorist who can build a customized plan for genuinely severe cases. There's no shame in that route. Severe noise phobia is a real medical condition, and for some dogs, behavioral work alone isn't enough, just like it wouldn't be enough for a person with a clinical anxiety disorder. One last thing I want to leave you with. Progress here is rarely a straight line. You might have a great calm 4th of July after months of work, and then a random summer thunderstorm sets your dog back a little. That doesn't mean the work didn't count. It means you go back to basics for a bit and keep going. Every dog I've worked with who improved significantly over time did it through this kind of steady, unglamorous repetition, not through a single trick or a single product. The plan we covered earlier gets you through one night. This is what actually changes the trajectory for every night after that. None of this requires anything exotic. Early preparation, good timing, a quiet, safe space, a job for your dog's brain, and a little grace the day after. I'm Dr. Ethan Lee. Thanks for watching, and here's to a calmer, quieter holiday for your best friend. Subscribe for more pet health tips